Police in Bristol revealed today that they now believe that a man who went missing in the city 5 weeks ago could have been the victim of a gangland killing. Wayne Lomas, who police say may have had links with drug dealing, loan sharking and protection rackets, mysteriously disappeared from his home. Now a murder inquiry has been launched. Bob Crampton reports.
The man who vanished from number 50 Wesley Park had a reputation. He was known as a hard man, not afraid to use violence in the shady world of criminals. Yet after seeing his sister on August the 30th, he left the house never to return. His beloved dogs were in the garden, the washing machine on. The night before, though, he'd been involved in 2 fights, one with his ex-father-in-law outside the house. Today, with the help of the police, a clearer picture emerged of 31-year-old Wayne Lomas. He was single, but with a string of girlfriends. His last job was as a car dealer. But a closer look at the life of Mr. Lomas has revealed a far more sinister side. He's alleged to have been involved with cocaine deals, extortionate money lending, protection rackets, car ringing, and violent assaults. In the spring of 1985, he appeared in court in Bristol, charged with attempted murder. A shotgun was used. Wayne Lomas walked free, acquitted of the charge. Now detectives, desperate to know his fate, have travelled outside Bristol to London and even Spain to interview known criminals. They hope that someone will turn informer. An incident room has been set up at King's Western House Police HQ as it becomes more of a reality that Wayne Lomas was murdered. The police admit they're now relying on his associates for a vital lead that may take them to a body.
Well, it would not be possible to describe him other than as a man who had lived with violence. The associates that I'm talking about are people who were associates and sometimes accomplices of his in the past.
Would it be fair to say that he was a member of Bristol's underworld?
Certainly he had associations with criminals in Bristol, yes.
Do you think these criminals, these associates, are involved with his disappearance?
There's a possibility of that, yes.
Lomas's mother and sister, who deny knowledge of his criminal background, are beginning to believe the murder theory.
Well, there could be a possibility about that.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we can't find him. There's no clues to anything, you know. And when the police told me about his past, I mean, I'm believing this now, you know, because nobody have seen him or anything like that.
The police are appealing for people to come forward with information. What would your appeal be to those people who knew Wayne?
Any of his mates, if they knew the slightest thing, just get on the phone the police is going to give you to let me know one way or the other if he's alive or is he dead, because this not knowing, that's what's getting to me.
Yeah, they haven't got to give their name, just phone up and
just not knowing.
The disappearance of someone who's been labelled a man of violence, a gangland enforcer, may well have all the makings of an underworld killing. There's no doubt about that. The motive, though, may be as murky as the company that Wayne Lomas kept. To date, the investigation has fed off scraps of information from Bristol's criminal fraternity. Now the police say they need hard evidence. So they set up a 24-hour confidential hotline just for that. The number is Bristol 267 890. That's Bristol 267 890.
The number to ring if you can help.
Lomas, a car dealer who went missing 6 weeks ago, has been murdered by underworld criminals seeking revenge. Lomas, who's 31, was last seen on August the 30th. Early reports indicated he may have gone into hiding, but now police believe they're dealing with the worst case of underworld revenge ever seen in Bristol. David Passmore reports.
Today, police said for the first time they believe Lomas was involved in drug dealing, loan sharking, attempted extortion and car ringing. 20 detectives are now working on the case, and their inquiries have revealed that Lomas made frequent visits to Spain, where he stayed with known criminals. He's a well-known figure in Bristol and worked for several underworld figures. He has 14 previous convictions, 9 of them offences involving violence. Lomas lives at 50 Wesley Park and was last seen on Tuesday the 30th of August. On that day, his sister met him at his home at lunchtime. At 3:30, he kept an appointment at a firm of city centre solicitors. He left there at 4:10 and hasn't been seen since. Police believe Lomas intended to return home. When officers went to his house, they found the tumble dryer had been left on and his dogs left to roam the garden. Lomas cared passionately about animals, but had made no arrangements for his 2 King Charles Spaniels to be fed. Police have received information from all levels of the Bristol underworld, but so far all lines of inquiry have drawn blanks. Many of them referred to a drugs deal which went wrong. In an attempt to get information from people they believe who are too frightened to come forward, police have set up a confidential phone line.
We do know that on the 30th of August, which was the day after Bank Holiday Monday, he made a phone call from his house to somebody asking them to pick him up. We have not yet traced that person. We'd be very anxious to hear from them. In addition to that, we know that on the afternoon of Tuesday the 30th, just before 4 o'clock, he left his solicitor's office in St Nicholas Street in Bristol, Trump and Partners, and we have not yet traced the person who left with him from that premises.
Lomas was last seen wearing a denim jacket. He was also carrying a telecom radio pager. Today, both his mother and sister said Lomas had given no indication he was worried or under threat.
When he came in to see me, and that was very rare, he seemed perfectly happy, playing with the dogs, you know, just talking. But he didn't seem worried to me. If he was, he didn't show it.
The worst aspect for Mrs. Della is not knowing.
Any of his mates, if they knew the slightest thing, just get on the phone the police is going to give you to let me know one way or the other if he's alive or is he dead, because this not knowing, that's what's getting to me.
Yeah, they haven't got to give their name, just phone up and
just
let us
not
know.
knowing.
Anyone with any information